Since the launch of the first Moto G smartphone, Motorola has been a powerful force to reckon with in the mid-range smartphone segment. Often the go-to recommendation for smartphones under 15,000 rupees or $250, the Moto G range has pioneered the idea of combining quality with affordability. The near-stock Android experience and promise of timely firmware updates has only added to the positive image of Motorola. And with their latest smartphone Moto G5 Plus, Motorola has set the bar even higher for other competitors. What is up guys, Sky here back with another video. The Technizer is your one-stop channel which bring you tech news, updates, tutorials and reviews. So please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. The very first impressions you will have about the Moto G5 Plus is regarding its build quality. For someone who is unaware, probably will assume this to be a high-end flagship phone at the first glance. It comes with a high-grade aluminum exterior just like the Moto Z, and the raised round camera module makes it look even more like it. Comparing with its predecessors, the Moto G5 Plus is the curviest Moto G, which gives it an upper hand in the ergonomics department. Combined with the fact that it sports a smaller 5.2-inch screen compared to the 5.5-inch one in the G4 Plus, this phone is easier to carry and use. A particularly useful feature is nano coating technology on the phone, which creates a water repellent barrier that protects the Moto G5 Plus against slight exposure to water such as splashes and rain. On the other hand, no matter how premium it feels, there are downsides to this design, which is, in hot weather, the phone's metallic body does feel warm in your hands, and the bumpy camera surely invites the fear of getting scratches. Nonetheless, both the screen and the camera glass has Gorilla Glass 3 protection. The fingerprint sensor is, I would say, a major upgrade. It is not only faster and more accurate, but also more comfortable than the cramped square one in the G4 Plus. And the best thing about it is that you can disable the on-screen navigation buttons to save yourself some screen space using the preloaded Moto app. So all you have to do is swipe right to go back and swipe left to switch between open apps. Talking about specifications, this phone packs a 2 GHz Octa-Core Snapdragon 625 processor coupled with Adreno 506 GPU, just like Xiaomi Redmi Note 4 and Lenovo P2, as well as in Moto Z Play. Currently there are 3 variants of this phone with 2, 3 and 4 GB of RAM and 16, 32 and 64 GB of internal storage. Currently, however, in India, the Moto G5 Plus is exclusively available on FLIPKART with the 4 GB of RAM variant priced at Rs 16,999 with 2 color options, Lunar Grey and the Fine Gold. Click the link in the description down below to head over to the product page. The G5 Plus, unlike other smartphones, can support a micro SD card expandable up to 128 GB and 2 nano SIM cards at the same time in its tray, both of which can connect to 4G network. NFC and Voice over LTE are also supported, however in the US variants, NFC might not be available. The phone is powered by a 3000 mAh battery and supports turbocharging, which, let me clarify, is not equivalent to fast charging, and it takes almost 1 minute to charge 1% of its battery. The battery performance, however, is quite satisfactory, and after a moderate use with playing games, browsing, calling and capturing photos, the battery lasted conveniently for a day. Also, in this price bracket, Moto G5 Plus is the first smartphone which comes with Android Nougat 7.0 right out of the box. And after noticing few glitches, I really hope they roll out 7.1.1 soon. Benchmarking results on Geekbench 4 leads to a score of 791 on single core, which is slightly lower than that of Xiaomi Redmi Note 4's 836. But on multi-core, the G4 Plus 3791 distinctly beats Redmi Note 4's score of 2995. Antutu benchmarks deliver a score of 62,698, which is quite lower than Redmi Note 4's 84,926, implying the graphics performance is not so promising. Speaking of graphics, the G5 Plus handles lighter games like Super Mario and Batman vs Superman effortlessly. However, the intensive games like Need for Speed No Limits and Gods of Rome were a little bit heavy on the processor, and you can notice few frame drops too if played long. The battery does heats up to around 40 degrees Celsius, which should not be a major concern considering the fact that ideally it stays around 32 degrees Celsius. RAM management on this phone is also very impressive, that unless you have opened tens of apps and tens of tabs on your browser, at least 2 GB remain always free. In fact, the transition between multiple apps is indeed seamless. The display here is not AMOLED, and it is rather full HD IPS LCD screen with a pixel density of 403 ppi and Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection on top. In the settings panel, you can opt out for either of two color modes, that is standard or vibrant. The vibrant color mode forces the colors to look a bit unnatural, but setting it to standard mode ensures a more balanced color output. Additionally, the Moto app offers some cool features like in its predecessor. Apart from disabling the on-screen navigation buttons, chopping gesture lets you access the flashlight, twisting lets you access the camera, and swiping up, left or right makes the screen smaller for one-hand use. And my personal favorite is the Google Pixel launcher. So there is no dedicated menu button, rather swiping up like this brings the menu drawer. What I don't like about this phone is the lack of LED notification light, which keeps you in the dark on the event of any notification or even when your phone gets fully charged. It would also have been great if Motorola kept the headphone jack on the top and placed the stereo speaker on the bottom. Guess they were saving some cost keeping only one speaker there, but that does not mean the sound quality is compromised in any sense, and it delivers a soothing experience whether you are on a voice over LTE call or you are watching a movie. Coming to the most important part of the review, that is its camera. While the front camera, which now has a wide-angle lens, has acceptable quality, Lenovo has highlighted the Moto G5 Plus rear camera big time. It uses a 12-megapixel image sensor with dual-pixel autofocus feature similar to Samsung Galaxy S7, which is paired with f1.7 aperture. It captures good amount of detail and great colors in good light and is very good at handling dynamic light. It also captures fantastic macro shots, not just because of its good sensor, but also because of its wide f1.7 lens, which helps it get nice blurred background. But it is in low light where the performance takes a hit. The low light photos shot with G5 Plus are grainy and have a lot of color noise. Oh, and by the way, this camera is capable of 4K video shooting. Overall, I feel you should buy this phone, not just because of its camera but also because of its design and especially for that clean Android Nougat experience. While Redmi Note 4 is more affordable, the Moto G5 Plus has what it takes to give the competition a run for their money and is worth the price tag. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, share it with someone who is considering to buy a new mid-budget smartphone. Also, please hit that subscribe button, it really helps me a lot. And I will talk to you soon. Peace.